Now, I just feel like I'm late to the party, but this was uploaded 2 days ago by Sarcasm. Love during lockup. Who is Candice's husband? Husband? Did I miss that on the show? Did they refer to him as his husband? I'm sure he was boyfriend. But either way though, let's get into exactly, well, what this is all about. Husband. Now, as you can see here, Sarcasm was the first to reveal that Love during lockup inmate Candice got married just a few months after her prison release, and the groom wasn't her on-screen love interest, Andrew. Interesting. The Love After Lockup Instagram account shared the first look at Candice and her husband in an Instagram preview clip from tonight's season finale episode, which is the one that we spoke about yesterday and obviously we did a review about. The brief clip doesn't provide any information about Candice's husband, just a brief look at the two of them kissing. And of course, the clip itself in particular was on the most recent episode. But obviously, as you can see, this is an image of them kissing in the car at that moment in time when we are finally given a reveal of who he is, of what his name was, and also what he looked like. But let's get into the nitty and gritty. Who is Candice's husband? As Sarcasm previously revealed, Candice's husband goes by his middle name of Ismael. According to his Facebook profile, Ismael is originally from Mexico. He is 30 years old and, unlike Andrew, appears to be a bit of a bad boy. But remember, Candice made abundantly clear the reason why she wasn't interested, well, at least she says this is one of the reasons why she wasn't interested in Andrew, was because he was pretty much too soft and she could walk all over him, which, to be fair, was a genuine fact, if you dig what I'm saying. But that doesn't mean that she was ever interested in him in the first place, because as Candice says, who I am in prison isn't exactly the same as who I am outside of prison. Wow. Such a criminal type comment. But with that being said, according to Nevada jail record, Ismael served 3 stints in prison for felony convictions over the past 8 years. In March 2017, Ismael was sentenced to 1 to 4 years in prison for felony count of attempted possession of a stolen vehicle. He was also sentenced 1 to 6 years for felony burglary. His probation was revoked in February 2019, stemming from his conviction, and then again in January of 2021. Ismael was sentenced to 1 to 4 years in prison in April of 2019 after he was convicted of a felony charge of possession of a firearm by a felon. In February of 2021, Ismael was sentenced again for felony possession of a firearm by a felon. This time, he received 1 to 6 years in prison with credit for 440 days time served. According to Nevada Department of Corrections website, Ismael's current status is listed as inactive due to his discharge or released. Ismael was stabbed, tortured, left for dead after drug deal. Wow, so this man really does have a past, and to be fair, he does fit the description of a bad boy based on obviously what Candice would want in a man. But hey, just saying, this stuff here, TMI, no trigger warning just in case. Should have said at the beginning of the video, I do apologize. Ismael made a local headlines in 2016 after he nearly died in a brutal attack over drug money. According to court records, 3 men and a woman stabbed 22-year-old Ismael multiple times in his chest, back, and arm, and also slashed his neck. Yikes. They also removed multiple finger nails and attempted to cut his pinky finger. Attempted, I mean, if you cut it, you don't cut it, but okay. During the torture session, which was reportedly over $300, throwing a boxing, that's crazy, in drug money and an unpaid towing fee, Ismael pretending to be dead. The attackers then set the house on fire and left. Ismael was reportedly able to hop into a sliding glass door and break it with a wooden rod. A woman who was driving by saw smoke coming from the house. She pulled over and got out of her vehicle before throwing a rock through the window in the hopes to determine whether or not anyone was inside. The woman heard a cry for help from the backyard. She walked around the house and found Ismael with his hands at knees and ankles bound with the cord. She saw that Ismael had been stabbed multiple times and was bleeding. The woman and 2 males pulled Ismael around the front of the yard, where she used Ismael's shirt to apply pressure to his neck. Paramedics arrived and Ismael was taken to the nearby hospital for treatment. The 4 people involved in the attack were later sentenced to life in prison for those roles in kidnapping, torture, and arson. It's unclear how much Ismael will be featured throughout, you know, Love and, well, we know, we saw him. He literally featured just at the end. But nonetheless, though, Ismael definitely has one hell of a history. Sadly for him, he went through a process of being stabbed, tortured, and left for dead. But at the same time, though, when you live the world that involves drugs, if you live the world that involves anything illegal, that is serious, these are the consequences, or these are the consequences that you may encounter. The only question is, though, since then, did he learn his lesson? Well, then, well, I'll leave you to be the judge of that, because obviously he's been involved in some crimes since then as well, sadly so. But now he's out once again, and he is married to Candice. The question is, will these two criminal lovers finally stop their ways of being criminals and start to look for the future, to maybe build a family, and also now to get normal jobs and to actually be normal human beings and not be criminals? Well, I guess we shall wait and see if that ever gets documented. But with that being said, though, it is quite messed up, though, that Candice literally went out of her way to literally invest time in Andrew, knowing that she had no intentions of being with Andrew, and the whole time her intentions were purely nothing else but to be with Ismael. And it's so crazy because I saw this cheeky little thing. Let me see if I can find it real quick. There we go. And it's so crazy because I believe this is actually her phone. I'm pretty sure this was Candice is obviously in one of the scenes, and it's crazy because she answers this pretty right when she was right next to, what's his name? Andrew. But Andrew decided not to see it, I guess. But nonetheless, she did say in the episode that she didn't waste any time texting Ismael as soon as she got out as well anyway. But here's the thing, though. I mean, I say this and I say this again. I understand that, of course, Andrew was out here paying for things, doing things, and all this kind of stuff, and she was using for this, and that. But really and truly, Ismael should have been the one that she met when she got released, not flipping Andrew. But hey, I guess she was playing the game because I guess the game is what she prefers to play. But nonetheless, though, it is what it is, sadly so for Andrew. But then again, Andrew still puts himself in this position because he thinks money is going to get him a woman, which is so freaking sad. Well, I mean, listen, if you're dealing with gold digger 100%, but understand this though, right? If you're gonna win a woman over based on your bank account, remember, when your bank account goes low, she runs with it. You know what I mean? When it disappears, she disappears too. So remember that, if you dig what I'm saying. But nonetheless, though, some people just never learn from their own mistakes. Some people just continue thinking that this is okay, because rather than going out there and working on their self-esteem, working on their confidence, working on their game, working on their riz, they'd rather be out here using their money to try and get women to actually be with them on a permanent basis, which is just, absolutely disgusting. It's a bit like Gino from 90 Day Fiance, right? A man that literally spends time on sugar daddy websites, luring women in with his money, and then once he gets them, I guess he uses the money, and then the rest is history, I guess, isn't it? What a sad life. Remember a time when a man was born to provide and protect, but also, most importantly, he was born to be confident in his own freaking skin. Nowadays, we get men in this world who are no longer confident in their own skin. They're out here use money to bring women in, or some of them out here even getting things done to themselves. Yo, those men ain't men. I don't know what they are, but they ain't men. Nonetheless, though, don't forget to like, subscribe, and of course, peace.